All right, I'm getting started on McCall's number 5252, which is like a fleece jacket slash vest with and without a hood. I am going to do view B. And so I have some fleece material here, about 60 inches in width and about 2¼ yards, laying out my pieces. And 2¼ yards is more than enough for the medium size. I have all of the pieces cut and still attached to the tissue paper, so I'm going to apply the markings where necessary and cut the notches and then get started. All right, the first step is to attach the front yokes pieces to the back piece. So I'm going to take it to the machine and sew along the shoulders. So this fleece fabric is extremely it sheds a lot when cutting, when trying to put stuff together. And I don't have a serger, so I tried to zigzag stitch the edges and the seams as a finish. So we'll see if that helps with the shedding, but I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna go. Anyway, I am attaching the collar now. I am finally getting back to this project, work in progress from over a year ago. McCall's 5252. This fleece zip-up jacket. I think I wanted to sew it up for a cold locale I was traveling to last year, but that didn't happen. So let's not waste this fabric. I guess I did start it. I have something going on here. I think the back. And I stopped because this fleece is so messy and it was shedding everywhere. And at the time I didn't have a serger. So now I'm going to use my serger and hopefully cut down on all the mess that comes with sewing fleece and finish this up. As you can see, just handling this fabric is gonna be messy. I didn't even do anything. I'm doing view B, which is a full zip with a collar and a side pocket. All the pieces seem to be there, so I'm going to sew the pockets of the left side first to have the bottom pockets and the top pocket put in place, and I just need to sew here with a 3/8 inseam and here, so all the pockets down, and then we'll be able to sew them together after that. Okay, for the upper pocket and I think the bottom pocket too, the instructions want me to like sew the pocket down like through the whole thickness and everything like that. Sew through all the thickness and sew down on the side. I think I'm going to skip that and just like sew the pocket around the edge and just have it loose inside. So hopefully that won't mess everything up. Okay, I think that will work because I still have to sew everything to the yoke at the top anyway. So I serge the edge of the pockets and I'll do the same for the pockets. All right, so pockets are all sewn to the front and side front pieces. Serge the edge as much as I could. And now we will connect the front yoke to the front pieces. Yes, this is the front yoke. These are the front pieces. Sew them at this edge. All right, it's coming together nicely. The front and back yoke are Well, the front yoke is attached to the front pieces. We got our pockets there. We got the side pocket here. And so the instructions want us to do a flat sew in for the sleeve. So I'm going to sew in the sleeve along this edge first, and then up the side edges all the way to close up the sleeve, and then the collar is the last thing. I have the sleeve clipped onto the armhole. I was supposed to E-stitch the sleeve to fit the armhole, but this fabric is not really letting me E-stitch it, so I just kind of evened out the excess on either end, and I'm going to serge it, and hopefully it comes out good. All right, we have one sleeve in, looking pretty good. So I'll put the next sleeve in, and then I forgot I need to install a zipper, and then the collar, and then we'll be done. So trying this on, it's humongous. I guess since it's a unisex pattern, a medium would be a little bigger, but I followed the measurements, so what else? I guess it fits around the waist, but the arms are just, I don't mind the long sleeve, it's really big under here. But anyway, grab my zipper and finish this up. Finally, almost kind of sort of done. So I see why they wanted to sew down the pocket. Also, the pocket is really low. If you're going to do this pattern, I would suggest putting the pocket up higher, because I don't think I'm going to be able to do the fold under hem. So for hemming, I bought some bias tape, and I plan to cover all the edges with bias tape all around and hem it like that. Also hemming the opening as well, just to finish it, so when I put the zipper in, the inside will have bias tape. Also, since you want to wear the pocket and put your hand in like this, I'm going to try to pin it down so it doesn't move while I'm putting in the bias tape. So hopefully that works. First, I'm going to line up the edge like this. And I see that the back panel is a little longer than the front, and so I'm just going to even up everything, making sure that the neckline lines up as well. So I'll just straighten it out, cut this down, and then put the bias tape on. All right, so I slightly opened up one side of the bias tape. I think it's double, what is this? Extra wide double fold. So I opened up one side, I'm going to sew along the fold there. Then you fold it down, and then you fold it over, and you're going to fold it, sew it on the other side. So that's what we're going to do. All right, I've sewn half of the bias tape around. Now I'm just going to fold it at the fold it over the edge, all the way around, and then that should cover the raw edge. So I put the bias tape on the bottom hem and the sleeve cuff or sleeve opening. I think that gives it a nice pop of color. Finally, I have a 28-inch zipper, which I hope will fit. I'm gonna install the zipper, and then I'll just need to hand stitch the collar down, but after that it should be done finally. The zipper has been pinned in place. The teeth are going this way face down. So when you flip it, it will be the right way. At this edge, you actually fold it out because that is the part that's going inside. Fold that out. Sew this down and then, ouch, top stitch it from this side. All right, so the zipper's in and it's not perfectly aligned at the bottom and at the top. So I'm gonna have to overcompensate here because this is not lined up. So I'm going to actually top stitch along the neckline first and then go in and sew down the inside just so I can make sure that at least this part should line up. Top stitch along the top. All I have to do now is sew the collar down just simply by slip stitching. I'll fold it under and make sure that it is nice and secure all the way down. So I guess that's how you do it. Just pick up a little bit of the bottom fleece and go through, possibly do this all the way around, and it is finished. So the jacket is done. I will say that it's quite the experience, and I don't think I would do it again anytime soon, at least not as something I would wear. So as a reminder, this is McCall's 5252 unisex fleece jacket type thing. And the unisex part is really apparent, especially in the sleeves. The sleeves are really big, humongous. So I didn't like that, for a lady's fit. It's too big for me. The sleeves, however, were nice and long. So that was nice. I didn't have to extend the sleeves at all as a tall lady. This material was terrible to work with. I did not enjoy. I did not enjoy this material. It was it had a lot of fit, when you cut it, it shed a lot. A lot of shedding. I don't know if regular, the standard fleece you might see in Joann or other stores would do this. I think I got this from Hobby Lobby, and I think it was like luxury fleece, or it was like some ultra, supposedly better fleece. Not better to work with anyway, to sew with. So I didn't like that. Also, I don't think this is my area of interest in terms of sewing. Like a sports jacket or like a casual like fleece jacket. I feel like these are easily bought. For me, I don't feel there's a need to sew things like this unless I had like specific, like a sports team or something, some fabric really interesting that I wanted to wear. But just like, everyday wear, I prefer to buy or thrift something like this. Overall, I did it. It was a work in progress and I finished it. So that's good. But maybe works in progress are works in progress for a reason. Maybe you start something and you're like, I don't know if I want to finish this. There might be a reason. There might be a reason behind it. But anyway, let me know if you've made this pattern And what do you think of it? Thanks for watching.